Okay, today we will develop some programs in JavaScript. How object-oriented programming works in JavaScript. So our course contents are number one, what are prototypes or prototype inheritance. Inheritance. Then uh, how to use multiple uh, objects in one object as member. This is not composition. This is a kind of composition, right? Number three, OOP. In OOP, we have inheritance. We have polymorphism. We have composition. We have static variables. We have data hiding, data manipulation, data hiding, like protected and private data in JavaScript, right? So these are the JavaScript. These are the contents. Okay, we will cover in this video. Okay, so let's start. I open this editor. I open a folder. For example, I open it on desktop, right? Desktop, and I create a folder. JavaScript. OOP in JavaScript. Open JavaScript. Select the folder. Select folder, right? I close this. And now, what are prototypes? It inherits the properties. For example, I have script. I have to save it as prototype.js. Okay? Sorry, I will create it. I'll save as desktop. OOP in JavaScript and prototype.js. Okay, and now if I write script, and I'll save as prototype.js. I should write, because I save this file as prototype.html. It makes it simple, right? So script and script, right? Script and script. Inside the script, I will write, for example, a variable names. Okay, name is equal to, for example, first name is this empty, right? Last name is empty. And I have some student function. I have a function student, and in this function I have to use this dot with first name. First name is equal to I will pass a name and name 1 and name 2. Okay, and first name is equal to name1, and this dot last name is equal to name2, right? Now this is now first name and last name are not accessible in student, right? So I will write student dot prototype is equal to name, above name, let name is equal to, okay, name. Now this dot first name is accessible, okay. And if I create an object of student1 is equal to new student, okay, and it should be, for example, I will write Ali, and I will write Hussein, this, and I should print here alert or document dot write, uh, this name is plus this dot first name and plus this dr break, and name, this is basically first name, right? This is first name and this is last name, right? Last name, this is last name plus this dot last name, okay. Now it should print these two names, okay. I save it and open it in browser. Open in browser. Okay, there is some error. What is the error? I will see there is one error, and there is semicolon missing somewhere. Semicolon is missing. Okay, here. This is comma. Okay, and I should write this Ali Hussain. Okay, now it is using these properties of name. Okay, this is first, and now I should start. For example, we have some form, admission form. For example, a student has admission form. Okay, there is some basic information, there is some address information, there is some education information. So I will write a new file save as this is oop1.html, oop1.html, and this is script and script. Let names are let basic info is equal to basic info is name basic info name comma email, okay. This is the basic info, and let address is equal to, for example, we have address 1, this comma address 2, address line 2, or present address and permanent address, okay. Let phone is equal to a cell phone, and this is a home phone, okay. So these are three different objects, three different variables or containers, okay. Basic info, address, and phone. Now let student is equal to basic info, it has basic info, it has address, and it has phone, address and phone. And I will write a function, right? Function student. Okay, and it will contain uh, an object from student. Okay, student, object from student, and it will contain this name, email, email, address 1, address 2, phone 1, phone 2, phone 2. Okay, so this dot name, I will write student dot name is equal to name. So student dot name is this name, this name. Student dot name is this name, and this right side name is this argument, this name, right? I should write name 1, email 1, name 1, and control C, and we have control V, and this is email 1, email 1, this is email 1, email 1, student 1, email 1, not email 1, we have email, email in basic info, right? And we have this student dot address 1, address 1 is equal to, here we have address 1, address 1, and student dot address 2, address 2 is address 2, address 2, and we have phone, student dot what, cell phone, cell phone is equal to phone 1, phone 1, and student dot this is home phone, home phone is equal to this is phone 2, phone 2. Okay, so this function should be set values. Okay, this should be set values. Okay, setter function, subsetter function. Okay, and there should be a function display student, display student function. It will contain only student object, and it should print document dot write, document dot write. This should be br, and the name is plus student dot name, and I should copy this, control C and control V, name, email, we have address 1, address 2, phone 1, phone 2. Okay, so name is this, email is we have email, and we have this student dot what, email, and address 1, is student dot address 1, student dot address 1, and address 2 is student dot address 2, address 2, address 2, and we have phone 1, uh, phone 1 is student dot cell phone, cell phone, and we have phone 2, is student dot home phone. Okay, now I will create object, let set values, I will call set, I will call let stu1 is equal to new new display student, or I should call it a student, because this contains student has basic info. So this should be new student, new student. This is a function. This should be a function, right? Or let student is equal to student is equal to basic info, and okay, stu1 is, this is the object of the student, and now stu1 I should call set values, right? Set values, and I should pass stu1, and name is, name I have this ID, email is A, @ is, there is problem with my keyboard, so I have @ desktop, the file hash and @ this is control C, this is A at control V at b.com, this is the email, and we have address, for example, this is street 1 GPO, and we have address 2 is Sadar, and we have this phone 1 is 45, this address, and cell phone is this, right? This is the data, set values, and we have display student, and we should pass to one, and it should display all the data, right? I save it, and I right click, open in browser, and it is not showing anything, right? Why? Because student is not a function. Unexpected identifier line 12. Where is line 12? Line 12 is, this is line, oh, this is the problem, right? So I should write control R. And as student 1 is not a constructor, so I should write it function student, this function, right? So control R, this should print our values. So now this was the data, and it has printed this, but because this is a constructor, if I write this new student is equal to, then I should write let student is equal to this, control R, and it is saying student is not a constructor. So whenever you use this new operator in any language, you must have some constructor, this kind of constructor, or you should write let student is equal to function this. Okay, it should print this now. Maybe let's see. So it is printed. So there must be some kind of function available, right? So this is a kind of OOP, because it contains a function. Student contains basic information, address and phone information, or whatever is on the form. Okay, you can write JavaScript front end using classes. Okay, now OOP, actual OOP is using class keyword. So oop, I should say inheritance. Okay, dot html. Okay, and I will write script and script, and I will write class is, for example, this is a course, right? Class is a course. Class student has a course. Okay, and course has a title, and title is equal to, for example, this is html. Title is html, and fee is, its fee is, this is 1000. Okay, and we have class teacher. Class teacher, class teacher has uh, name Ali. Okay, and okay, teacher has a name, right? And class student, class, and these two classes, or I should write because this is inheritance, so I should write class student. Class student has, sorry, class student has a name is equal to this double dot is equal to, this is a class, right? So I should write is equal to student name and extends teacher, T E A C H E R, teacher, right? And we have this teacher extends course. Okay, because this is multi-level inheritance, right? So I should write display course. It should display document dot write. This is br, and courses. First is teacher name. This should be empty, right? This also should be empty. This should be empty. Okay. Semicolon. This semicolon, and courses. I should provide the name, right? And name is this dot name is equal to name. Okay, name one. This is name one, right? And course is okay, course title, and fee. Okay, and this dot title is equal to title. This dot title is equal to title, and this dot fee is equal to fee. Or I should write, for novices, I should write 1 and 1 and 1. Okay, this course is plus or name 1. Document dot write, control C. This is 1. Teacher. First of all, teacher, right? Teacher name is plus name. This dot name. Okay. This dot name, and course is this dot course. This course is this dot title. This dot title, control C, and I should write control V, and course fee is this dot fee. Okay, now name is student name is, I should write display student. display. This should be display, right? And this should also be display. Display student. Student. And it should write this document dot control V, document dot write student name. Student name is this dot name, and it should provide name 1, and this dot name is equal to name 1. This is getter. We can write set and get methods, but we have this dot name. Okay. Now I create class this let teacher T1 is equal to new teacher. Okay, new teacher, and let stu1 is equal to new student, and T1 dot display, T1 dot only display. The name is Ali, and title is HTML. Course title is HTML, and its fee is 2000. Okay, and student stu1 dot display student, and name 1 is for example Asad. Okay, so it will display all the information, and there is some user interface, some good user interface which should write control V, documented write course details or course details. Okay, right, course detail BR. Okay, this is BR. So it will display, it should display some information without an error. So this is details Ali, HTML 2000 Asad. Okay, student name is Asad, its teacher is Ali, and its course is HTML, and fee is 2000. Right. File save as this is what? This is extension. Extends means extend the functionality of the parent class. For example, teacher has some other properties with the course properties. Okay, extension, or some more properties, some more function, some more functionality. Okay, extends. Inheritance, parent child relationship, right? Now we have the second thing is polymorphism. So polymorphism is polymorphism.html. For polymorphism, we have this control A. Sorry, this is control polymorphism. This is polymorphism, and control A, delete. And I should write script and script. We have class parent, class parent, class course, class student, course, class course. Okay, class course has a display function, right? Simple display function. Okay, and display function is alert. I should write alert in course display function. In course display function, right? Polymorphism means one thing has many shapes. For example, this cursor has this shape. When I click, this is the shape. There is another shape of cursor when I move this shape, and there is another shape of this cursor, this arrow, when I move over here. So this is one thing having many shapes. One player has, for example, one player is bowler, one player is batsman, or one person is a student at class, one person is a brother in home, or employee in some organization. So objects change its shapes or depending roles depending upon the situation. Okay, so class course, and we have to uh, make a software for to solve real world problems. So object oriented is because why these properties are in this object oriented, because the real world things are all objects, and we have this inheritance. Now we have polymorphism, different shapes. So polymorphism means different shape, means function has different shape. So this is display. The same name, display, display should be in the, for example, another class is teacher, for example, teacher, or close student. Okay, student has this display, same display function, and it has some alert function, and alert function is in student student display function. Yeah, inside student display function. So if I extend this, extends course, if I extend course, then what should be called? This display or this display? Because this display is also available. But if we have student object, then this display will be called. Let's see. If I write let stu1 is equal to new student, and stu1 dot display stu1 dot display, it should print what? It should print in display function, in student display function. Let's see, in student display function. If I don't have specific another shape or this function, if I remove this function, then it should print in course display, function, in course display function, this in course display function. So different shapes, you can have your own version of the function in your own class, or you could use parent class, right? This is one kind of polymorphism, right? Now polymorphism, and after that we have this is also called overriding, means this display is overridden by student. Course display function has overriding. And third thing is composition. Composition is very easy, composed of something. For example, a laptop is composed of one keyboard object, keyboard class, and it is composed of this screen, it is composed of mouse. So all three things are within this. So these three are different objects of different classes, three different objects of different classes, in one computer. Okay, now we have OOP, and this is called composition.html. Composition, very simple. Script, and we have class course. Class course has a display function. Okay, and document dot write. This is course function. And course class function. And we have another class, control C. We have this, and another class, this course teacher, 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 right? Teacher, and teacher, br, and we have this br. new line, and we have student. Student. We have student and display function, and this is student display function. Student display function. So student class function. We have these three functions. Fourth is class college. College function. EG, right? College. College, and this is display function. Display function, and we have now course C1 is equal to new course. New course. And teacher T1 is equal to new teacher. Okay. And we have student stu1 is equal to new new student. This. Now in the college we have these three, right? Now we have C1 dot display. First thing, C1 dot display, and T1 dot display, and we have this stu1 dot display. So one college has three objects composed of this college is composed of course, teacher, students, books, assignments, these buildings and departments. These is the composition. One room is composed of, one class composed of chairs, desks, computers. Okay. So this is course, teacher, and student. A college contains. Okay. Is a, has a, right? So now if I call this let course, let student, I should write C1. Okay. Teacher T1. I should write student stu1. Okay. And let college is equal to new college, and college dot C1 dot college dot display. So it will display all the information. So course class function, teacher class function, and student class function. So all the information is there. So this is called composition. Okay. Another thing is static, without an object. There is no new keyword. So oop static dot HTML. Okay. Control A and delete, and script and and we have class student. Class student has this for example name, and if I write name is equal to empty. Okay. And display function, one display function, and document dot write this br forward slash, and name is basically plus name, this dot name. Now if I should pass this name, so this dot name is equal to name. This is some class. Okay. Let stu1 is equal to new student. Now new student. So stu1 dot display, and I should write Ali. Okay. Okay. It will print name Ali. This is good. I will go here and it will print name Ali. Right. But if I write it this sign, the hash sign is not working on my computer keyboard. Control C because of some malware, some virus, right? Control V. Hash sign, and I should write. Oh no. This is static. This is not data hiding, right? Okay, like right as static. Static. Okay, static name is equal to empty. This should be the and static display. Let's see, static display. So static display is without an object. Without an object. What should I write? Student class name dot display and student dot name. Student dot name is I should write this right, and student this is document dot write document dot write student dot display. Student dot name is equal to Ali. Okay, static. I should not assign any value, and this student is Akram, right? And I should write this student dot display static function is student name is also. So it is not printing, right? Name is Akram, this display function. And if I write document dot this, control C document dot write this document is this dot student name, student dot name control R. Okay, name is earlier name is okay. So this is static means without an object. So there is no new keyword, and still we can access the properties. And if I write this hash sign is hash sign. I should write another class. Okay. Control C for data hiding. File as this is OOP data hiding. The basic purpose, the real purpose of OOP is what? The real data hiding. Data hiding. Control. This is class. For example, course. Class course, and course has some total course has student. Student has password. Password is equal to this. Okay, and it should not be accessed outside the class. So I should write this hash sign. This hash sign. Control C and this control V. So if I write let stu1 is equal to new student, stu1 dot password is equal to ABC. So it should display an error because of hash sign. Hash sign is means there is an error. If I inspect it, this is there is no error. Okay, there is okay because this control V. This should be hash password, control R, and it says private field password must be declared in the enclosing class. Okay, if I change this to password, okay, then it will not display anything. Okay, and if I print it to one dot, this is document dot write to one dot password, so it will display what ABC. But if I write hash sign, control V, and password here, control V, and hash sign here, control V, then it will display this private field, because this is private. So data is private. Again, protected is underscore. So protected is okay. Protected can be printed. So it will print. And by default, it is public. Control R and ABC. By default, it is public. If for protected underscore, and for hash sign, for private hash sign. Okay. So this was something about object oriented programming in JavaScript. Okay.